The distressed Caliver galaxy had seen many wars, but this one was different. It was quiet, slow, and unstoppable. Across the stars, ancient alien worlds were falling one by one. Great cities turned into empty dust. Massive fleets vanished without sending a single warning. The Galactic Council watched in fear. This council was old, older than most stars. Its members were the strongest races in known space. They had ruled trade, war, and knowledge for thousands of years. Now they were losing everything. The enemy had no face, no clear ships, no known language. Every weapon used against it failed. Energy beams passed through it. Plasma shields meant nothing. Even their smartest machines could not predict its moves. One by one, council members spoke in low, fearful voices. Their pride was gone, their confidence broken. They had one final option left, an option they never thought they would use. A small blue planet on the edge of the galaxy, a world called Earth. Humans lived there, a young race, loud, emotional, and violent. At least that was what the council believed. Humans fought many wars among themselves. They had weak ships, old weapons, and no place in galactic politics. For centuries, humans were ignored, labeled as primitive, too dangerous to trust, too weak to matter. Now the council looked at Earth with shaking hope. An elder being stood in the center of the chamber. Its voice echoed through the hall, full of shame and fear. "We have no choice," the elder said. "If we fall, the galaxy falls with us." The council voted in silence. The decision was clear. They would send a distress call to humanity. A message was prepared, not proud, not commanding, but desperate. It spoke of destruction, of worlds burning, of an enemy they could not stop. The final words were simple: "We ask for your help." The signal was launched into deep space, traveling faster than light, crossing dead systems and forgotten stars, until it reached the human home system. On Earth, the message was received in a quiet control room. Human officers stared at the screen, reading the alien symbols as they translated into human language. For a long moment, no one spoke. Humanity had always looked to the stars, wondering if anyone was watching. Now someone was not only watching, they were begging. The human leaders gathered quickly. Generals, scientists, and commanders stood together. They listened carefully, not with fear, but with focus. Humans understood one thing very well: survival. They had fought monsters on their own world. They had survived plagues, wars, and near extinction. They knew what it meant to stand at the edge of death. The room grew silent as the final decision was made. A human commander stepped forward, his face calm, his voice steady. He looked at the glowing message from the stars and spoke softly. "We hear your call." The message was sent back without delay. Short, simple, and powerful. "We are coming, far away." In the great council chamber, alien sensors lit up. The reply had arrived. For the first time in many cycles, hope returned, but fear followed it closely, because no one truly knew what would happen. When humanity finally stepped onto the galactic stage, the first Psion City, the crew of the starship Aurora floated silently through the void, their eyes fixed on the strange signals that had drawn them across light years of empty space. Captain Myra Jensen tightened her grip on the console, her heart beating faster than normal. She glanced at Lieutenant Rami, who was busy decoding the alien transmission. It's a language," he whispered, voice trembling slightly. "Not any we've seen before, but it's intelligent." The bridge fell quiet. The hum of the ship's engines, the only sound for a few tense moments. Myra's mind raced, imagining what could be waiting for them beyond the next asteroid field. The signal had led them to a planet that glowed with a soft, green light, unusual for its distance from the nearby star. "Scan for life signs," Mira ordered, her voice steady despite the excitement that tingled through her veins. The sensors beeped and whirred, painting a picture of sprawling structures, but nothing familiar. No cities, no roads, just patterns that seemed alive, almost breathing. Suddenly, the communication console flared bright, displaying a holographic figure, unlike anything humans had ever seen. The creature had a transparent body with glowing veins, and eyes that seemed to hold the weight of centuries. "We are seekers of help," it said in a melodic, vibrating tone. Rami quickly translated the signals into words the crew could understand. The crew exchanged nervous glances. "Help?" Mira asked cautiously. "From whom? From what?" The alien's form pulsed softly, a rhythm that almost felt like a heartbeat. "Our world, dying, our stars, fading. We have journeyed far, begging for aid. Only you can answer." Lieutenant Rami frowned. Captain, their technology is far beyond ours. We might not be able to help even if we wanted to. Mira took a deep breath, staring at the alien. We have to try. Rami, if they are begging, that means something serious, something that might affect more than just their planet. The holographic figure extended a shimmering limb toward them. Time, short, your choice, could shape galaxies. The words sank into the crew like a cold wind. The responsibility weighed heavily on them. Even the smallest mistake could turn a plea for help into a tragedy. Meanwhile, the sensors picked up movement on the planet below. Shadows flickered over the glowing structures, and the crew realized they weren't alone. Something was watching them, something curious and intelligent, yet unseen. Prepare a landing team, Mira commanded. We need to see their world, understand it. Before we make any decisions, the team suited up, hearts pounding with a mix of fear and anticipation. Each step toward the shuttle felt like stepping into a story older than humanity itself. As the shuttle descended, the green glow of the planet wrapped around them, a soft, almost hypnotic light that seemed to whisper in the minds of the crew. The air shimmered, and the alien structures shifted, as if alive, moving to greet them, or maybe to judge them. Myra's eyes scanned the horizon. Stay alert, she said. We don't know what we'll find, but this is history, right here, right now. And as the shuttle touched down on the strange terrain, the crew stepped out into a world that defied every law of physics they knew. The ground pulsed like it had a life of its own, and in the distance, more alien figures emerged, shimmering and translucent, moving with grace and purpose. The first contact had begun, and no one on the Aurora could guess the consequences that would ripple across the stars. This was not just a plea for help, it was a challenge, a test, and perhaps the start of a legend that would echo in the galaxies for centuries. Mira took a deep breath, staring at the alien world. Let's find out if we're ready to answer. The test of Tiaru's the crew of the Aurora stepped cautiously onto the alien world, their boots sinking slightly into a surface that pulsed like soft liquid under their weight. The air was thick but breathable, carrying a faint hum that seemed to resonate with their very thoughts. Captain Myra Jensen signaled the team to stay close. Observe, don't touch. Yet, she warned, we don't know what can harm us. The alien figures moved silently toward them, their glowing forms casting long, shifting shadows. Each one exuded an aura of intelligence, as if every step they took was carefully calculated. Yet, there was no hostility, only a quiet expectation. One of the aliens separated from the group and floated toward the crew. Its body shimmered brighter as it approached. To help, you must understand. To trust, you must risk. The translator rendered its message. Lieutenant Rami frowned, whispering to Mira, Captain, it sounds like a test, but what kind of test? And why us? Myra studied the alien carefully. It's asking us to make a choice, she said. A choice without knowing the outcome. That's trust, and maybe the key to helping them. The alien extended a glowing limb, pointing toward a structure that appeared to rise from the ground itself. Its walls rippled like water, and faint images flickered across the surface. Warnings, invitations. Let's go, Mira decided. We have to see this through. Whatever it is, it's part of their plea. Inside the structure, the crew discovered an intricate network of lights and energy patterns, flowing like rivers of color. Each pattern seemed to react to their movements, shifting and changing, almost as if the world itself was alive. Look at this, Rami whispered, pointing to a pattern that resembled a map of stars. But the stars didn't match any known constellation. They were alive, moving, and interconnected, forming shapes that seemed to tell a story. Suddenly, the structure pulsed, and the air filled with a soft, melodic vibration. The alien's message came again. Only those who see and feel can decide to save or fail. Mira realized the test wasn't about technology, weapons, or knowledge. It was about empathy, courage, and the willingness to act without full understanding. The aliens were asking them to step into the unknown, to risk everything for a life they barely knew. Rami hesitated. But Captain, what if we fail? What if our choice destroys them instead? Mira placed a hand on his shoulder. Every act of courage carries risk, but in action, that is the true danger. The crew moved deeper into the structure, following the pulsating light. Their hearts pounded as the patterns shifted, responding to their emotions. Their fears, hopes, and intentions were reflected in the glowing walls. Finally, they reached a chamber at the center, where a massive sphere hovered mid-air. radiating light that seemed to contain the essence of the alien world. "This is it," Myra breathed. "This is what they need us to touch, to accept, to help." The aliens waited silently outside, watching, their forms pulsing softly with anticipation. The crew exchanged nervous glances, understanding that their next action would decide everything. Mira stepped forward, hand trembling slightly, reaching toward the sphere. "We're ready," she said. "We want to help, and we trust you." As her fingers brushed the surface, the light expanded, enveloping the chamber in brilliance. The world outside seemed to hold its breath, and the crew felt a surge of connection, human and alien, heart to heart, mind to mind. The first test had begun, and the crew of the Aurora understood that this moment would define not only their fate, but the future of two worlds. Outside, the aliens shimmered brighter than ever, as if acknowledging a spark of hope. "The choice begins," the translator whispered, and somewhere deep in the universe, the faintest echo of a legend started to form, a story of trust, courage, and the bridge between species. The adventure had only just begun, and the crew realized that helping the aliens would demand everything they had, and more. The galactic Arisiko the light from the sphere, faded slowly, leaving the chamber bathed in a soft green glow. The crew of the Aurora felt a strange calm, yet an invisible tension hung heavy in the air. Captain Mira Jensen turned to the team. "We've passed the first test, but I can feel it. Something bigger is coming." She could sense that the aliens' plea wasn't just about saving their planet. It was about something that could affect the galaxy itself. "Lieutenant," Rami stared at the glowing sphere. "The energy. It's massive, Captain. If misused, it could destroy systems light years away." His voice trembled. "This isn't just a test of courage, it's a test of responsibility." Suddenly, alarms echoed across the ship. The communications panel lit up with hundreds of incoming transmissions, all from nearby star systems, all broadcasting warnings, panic, confusion. The alien's holographic figure appeared again, its form flickering urgently. "Your choice will be known. Across galaxies, you must decide. Before darkness spreads." Mira's mind raced. "Darkness. What darkness? What darkness?" she asked, but the alien only pulsed, as if the answer was impossible to put into words. Rami scanned the signals. "Captain, it's a ripple, a chain reaction starting from their system. If they die, or fail, his energy will collapse neighboring star systems. It could become a galactic catastrophe." The crew froze, understanding the stakes. This was no longer just about saving a world. It was about preventing destruction on a massive scale. The aliens moved closer, forming a circle around the sphere, their glowing bodies intertwining. "We are not saviors. You are the key. Your courage, your trust, will determine the fate of many." Mira clenched her fists. "We can't fail," she said firmly. "We'll find a way. We'll help them, and we'll make sure no one gets hurt." But how? The sphere's energy was beyond comprehension, its power immense. Rami studied the alien patterns again. "Captain A, maybe it's not about controlling it, maybe it's about joining it, becoming part of their system." Understanding it fully, Mira nodded. "Then we do it. We synchronize. With them, we trust, and we act." The crew moved together, placing their hands on the sphere, feeling the warmth, the pulsing life. The energy flowed into them slowly, connecting each member with the aliens. Their thoughts and fears intertwining, images flashed in, their minds, dying stars, collapsing worlds, the ripple spreading faster than light. And then, a vision of hope, planets flourishing, civilizations thriving, the galaxy united in quiet harmony. Mira understood. "We have to focus on the life, not the fear," she whispered. "Channel it, stabilize it, guide it, with every thought, every intention." The energy responded, pulsing brighter. The aliens' forms shone like living constellations, vibrating with joy, relief, anticipation. Outside, nearby star systems felt the change, signals of panic fading into awe as the galactic ripple slowed, stabilized, and began to harmonize. The crew stepped back, exhausted but exhilarated. They had done it. They had answered the plea, not with weapons or force, but with trust, courage, and unity. The alien figure smiled, its voice soft but filled with emotion. "You have chosen wisely, humanity. Your name will echo across the stars, a legend of courage, hope, and the bond between worlds Mira looked at her crew. "We just saved more than one world," she said quietly. "We saved the future." And far across the galaxy, civilizations that would never meet humanity would whisper stories of the humans who dared to trust, who dared to act, who became the bridge between life and legend. The Aurora crew had become part of something greater than themselves, something that would be remembered forever. Legacy of the STAs, the Aurora drifted in the quiet glow of the alien world. Its crew still connected to the sphere, feeling the energy slowly fade into a calm, steady rhythm. The aliens surrounded them, shimmering softly, their forms almost reverent. Captain Mira Jensen stepped forward. "It's over, isn't it?" she asked, though a part of her expected another challenge, another test, another impossible choice. The alien figure pulsed warmly. "It is over, because you chose wisely, humanity. You are part of the story now." Lieutenant Rami smiled, exhausted. "We did it, Captain. We actually did it. We saved them." "And maybe more than that," Mira nodded, staring at the sphere one last time. "Yes, but it's bigger than us, bigger than any one ship or crew. This is a legacy." The aliens began to fade slowly into the air, their forms dissolving like morning mist. Yet the light they left behind remained a gentle, guiding cliff that seemed to point toward the stars themselves as the crew prepared to leave. Mira took one last look at the planet. "They trusted us, and we honored that trust. That's something no enemy, no disaster could ever take away." Back on the Aurora, the crew recorded everything, their logs filled with discoveries, emotions, and the lessons of the encounter. But the most important, truth could not be captured in words. Only felt humanity had proven that courage, empathy, and unity could shape the galaxy. Rami looked at the stars streaming past the viewport. "Captain, do you think other civilizations are watching, learning from us?" Mira smiled faintly. "Maybe, Rami. Maybe they will see that even a species that is young, small, can rise to greatness, that even when faced with the unknown, trust and action can create legends." The ship's AI chimed softly. "Incoming transmission, unknown origin." The crew froze, then watched as a message appeared. Not words, but a pattern of light and energy, echoes of the alien planet, now traveling through space, carrying the story of humanity to the farthest corners of the galaxy. Mira understood immediately. It's a message to every world that will listen. Humanity is not alone, and we are capable of greatness. The crew shared a moment of quiet pride, knowing they had become part of something eternal. The story of the humans who answered a plea for help, who faced fear, uncertainty, and the unknown, and became a legend. As the Aurora sped away, the stars seemed brighter, alive with possibility. Each twinkle a reminder of the choices they had made, the lives they had touched, and the hope they had sparked. The galaxy would remember, not because of weapons or conquest, but because humans dared to act with courage, trust, and compassion. They had proven that one species could make a difference, that the smallest act of bravery could echo across light years and centuries. Captain Mira Jensen looked at her crew. "We didn't just save a world. We became part of the universe's story, and far beyond, across stars, planets, and civilizations. Whispers of their deeds began to spread, carried by light, energy, and memory. Humanity's name shining brighter than ever, a legend in the making, a legacy of the stars." The Aurora continued its journey, humanity's first step into a wider galaxy, but already, in distant worlds, the story of their courage had begun to inspire, to unite, and to remind all beings that even in the vast emptiness of space, one species could shine, brighter than the stars themselves. And so, the tale of the humans who answered the call lived on, not as a single moment, but as a beacon, guiding the galaxy toward hope, courage, and the enduring power of unity.